Good evening to our viewers in the West, and thank you for joining us. We're going to begin tonight in Waukesha, Wisconsin, a community reeling in grief following a horrific attack at its annual Christmas parade. There's a vigil being held tonight in close-knit Milwaukee suburb for the victims of the rampage. Families and community leaders struggling to make sense of what happened. 5 people were killed and nearly 50 others injured when a man plowed his SUV through a barricade and drove along the Christmas parade route. In a few terrifying moments, the joyous event shockingly transformed into chaos. The dead range in age from 52 to 81 years old, and they include 4 members of Milwaukee's Dancing Grannies. Many children are also among the wounded, and several are fighting for their lives tonight. We learned today that the driver, now facing intentional homicide charges, was out on bond after he allegedly punched the mother of his child and intentionally ran her over with the same vehicle at a Milwaukee gas station earlier this month. We have team coverage of this tragedy, beginning with CBS's Nancy Chen. Good evening, Nancy.
Norah, good evening to you. This is Main Street behind me, where last night families gathered to celebrate the holiday season. Now, as we learn more about this tragedy, we're learning that this close-knit city is coming together to remember the lives lost. Joy quickly turned into chaos. Tonight, officers say the suspect was fleeing a domestic disturbance when he plowed through police barricades. This was the moment the SUV narrowly misses a little girl in pink, then striking dozens of people as it tore through the parade route, leaving a scene of carnage.
We got about 10 to 15 people down in the street. We also got multiple critical patients.
Good Samaritans rushed to help those injured. At a press conference today, Waukesha Police Chief Dan Thompson became emotional as he read the names of those killed.
And I say this with great sorrow. Virginia Sorensen, 79-year-old female. Leanna Owens, 71-year-old female.
The incident left 5 dead, ranging in ages between 52 and 81, and at least 48 injured, nearly half of them children as young as 3 years old. Families celebrating the holidays watched in horror.
When I looked over and I saw one person on the ground, I saw their feet, and they're surrounded by a bunch of people.
Matt Rude was at the parade with his 2 young children.
When I was walking past, I told my girls just to close their eyes and look the other way because I don't want them to see that.
Officials identified 39-year-old Daryl Brooks as the suspect and say he intentionally drove through barricades. Thompson said there was no evidence this was a terrorist incident.
We have no information that Brooks knew anybody in the parade.
On social media, Brooks, who lives in Milwaukee, can be seen rapping next to a red SUV. Brooks' criminal history dates back to 1999. Last year, he was charged with 3 felony gun counts. According to court documents, in a domestic abuse incident just earlier this month, Brooks intentionally ran over his child's mother with his vehicle. Brooks posted a $1,000 bail on November 11th. The Milwaukee County DA called the bail inappropriately low today. President Biden said he and his family are praying for those suffering.
And an entire community is struggling to cope with the horrific act of violence.
Now the community is trying to heal after horror came to this year's holiday parade. Its theme, comfort and joy. Waukesha Mayor Sean Riley described Waukesha's 70,000 as a close-knit community.
Waukesha has held what can be described as a Norman Rockwell type of Christmas parade for almost 6 decades. Last night, our wonderful Waukesha parade became the scene of a horrific tragedy. Last night, that parade became a nightmare.
And the police chief says an officer fired shots at the vehicle in an attempt to stop it after it went through the barricades. We're told no one was hit by those shots. Brooks, who faces 5 counts of first-degree intentional homicide, will make his first court appearance tomorrow, Norah.
Nancy Chen, thank you.